So go ahead, I'm sorry.
Hello, my name is Andrew Poore. I am the interim CEO of Midwest Agrivoltaic Systems. We were founded in 2021 with the goal of partnering with educational institutions, specifically or particularly Crowder College, for educational grants related to solar energy products. In the end, we did not partner with Crowder, but we did end up partner with other institutions. We did get some of the grants that we applied for the development of agrivoltaic systems. Our mission statement whenever we started, and still to this day, is to help agricultural entrepreneurs and non-profit organizations produce the energy that they and their community needs without negatively affecting their rural lifestyle. That is one of the big differences that we focus on, is we want to deal with the more rural projects. We don't do a whole lot of residential projects, a couple of them, about 4 per year. The bulk of our projects are commercial projects and even some utility scale projects. Originally, whenever we were founded, our target was these Department of Energy grants. We did get a Phase 0 Department of Energy grant. What that grant did is it helped us do international research to find out if there's any competitive products like those that we were looking to design and build. The research came back very, very positive for us, that there were no other products similar to ours. And our products are specifically designed for the agricultural community, or what's referred to as dual use solar. So what we do differently than most other solar companies, to start with, we really do not focus on residential systems. Like I said, we might do 4 of those per year. Our focus is mainly on commercial scale systems and utility scale systems. These commercial systems could be for one business. They could also be for a small community, like community housing. They could even be divided amongst a number of businesses that would share the net metering, depending on the state and the utility regulations for those locations. Primarily dual use racking and the assistance for applying for grants for entities that are looking to install solar or research new innovative solar products or projects. We'll talk more about those dual use racking solutions here in a moment. Bifacial module optimization. A lot of people have never heard of bifacial solar panels. This is a solar panel that does not just produce energy on the top of the panel, it also produces energy on the bottom of the panel. Now, if that's on a roof, that makes no sense whatsoever, because the sunlight's never going to reach that. It costs virtually no additional money to produce these panels over a traditional panel. However, if you get this panel high enough off the ground, the albedo radiation, the radiation that strikes the ground, can bounce back up to the back of these panels and actually increase the production of that same size module by up to 30%. This is particularly effective in areas that have a lot of snow. The front of the panel can get covered by snow, but the back of the panel is uncovered, and up to 80% of the energy can bounce off of that snow onto the back of the panels. It actually helps melt the snow off of the face of the panel even quicker. It opens up a financially productive development in areas that it was not financially productive in the past, especially northern areas. We can also put this over crop land. But the problem in the past is the racking that we used was blocking the back of these panels. Our racking system optimizes that and does not provide any shading on the rear of the panels. And then specifically, these are used for agrivoltaics. What is agrivoltaics? Agrivoltaics is the use of land for the production of crops, like food, and the production of energy through solar at the exact same time. It has a couple of different names in the industry. Agrivoltaics is very tough to spell or even pronounce if you saw it. So more common, it's referred to as agri-solar or dual-use solar, and could be even considered low-impact solar. All of these might have a slightly different meaning. Agrivoltaics definitely means you are growing crops underneath there. Well, what does a system like this even look like? Well, the crops have to be able to receive light. If you completely block out that light, they're not going to grow. If you put the proper amount of light For certain crops, I'll give an example of fescue. We can actually increase the production of fescue by up to 8% while producing solar energy on that exact same land. Our racking solution, AgRack, allows for the modules to be spaced accordingly for the crops that are underneath, and then bifacial optimization. These modules have no shading on the back of them, so all of the albedo radiation that bounces off the ground finds its way to the back of these modules. The Department of Energy grant that we received helped us do the trademarking and apply for provisional patents on these designs. And so today we have a trademarked name of AgRack, and we have our stamp of provisional patent pending for the product that you saw just a moment ago. The real world product looks like this. We'll come back to that in a moment. And so our current projects that we are working on for or using AgRack are larger products. We have an East Coast pollinator project to where crops will be grown underneath the array specifically for propagating pollinators, both native and honeybees to produce honey. The electricity from these projects is going to low-income housing in the Washington, D.C. area. Tribal nations, we have tribal nations that we are working with that are applying for not only agrivoltaic style grants, but energy security grants to make the energy for their communities more stable and resilient, and low-income energy grants. A lot of times if you don't own your home, if you rent an apartment, it's very difficult for you to lower your electric bill by buying solar panels. And so if we can provide these incentives to the apartment complex owners, that they will pass those incentives on to their tenants. Those programs, especially on tribal lands, provide a benefit to the user that would be a low-income resident, and oftentimes those residents are the ones that are left out for the standard incentives. Coal country rehab, for many of the lands in West Virginia, the land is physically changed. They remove a mountain, and what's left is not really able to put houses on or anything like that. You can't grow crops on it, so it has to be rehabilitated. Producing power on that land is a great rehabilitation, and in the process, retraining of those local residents to install those systems to where they now have a viable income stream is also part of the education that we provide in our consulting. Me having been an educator for more than 10 years, teaching alternative energy and solar technology at the college level, our company can provide those educational resources that are especially popular to include in grants, so that you're not just having an immediate impact of installing solar electric systems, you're having a long-term impact of providing a skill and a trade that is very sought after for that community. Good jobs that come to that community do nothing but raise the tide and float all of the boats in that community. And then last, that's very local, is the REAP grant. The REAP grant is a renewable energy in agriculture program, and originally it was started just for farmers. In our area, it has been expanded to virtually all small businesses. This is an application program that it's kind of complicated to apply, but if you get approved, 50% of your solar electric system is paid for, cash paid back to you. The great thing is you know in advance if you would be approved, but you have to apply in advance to get that approval. We assist with consulting for local businesses to apply for those REAP grants, along with a very clear explanation of what all of the incentives your entity could receive from installing solar electric. We can do that on a consulting basis and just charge an hourly wage for that. We can also do that on a single fee basis to where there's one fee and you have all of our help needed until that application is successfully submitted. If they need changes or updated, they come back, we help you do that. But either way, whether your entity is a for-profit entity or a nonprofit entity, if you have an electric bill that's large and you're looking to lower it, the REAP grant for profit entities and other grants for nonprofit entities are available in every area in the United States. And that's part of the thing that we do is we help these entities find those. This is one of the most recent projects that we completed at the beginning of the fall. You can park a John Deere closed cab tractor with a combine underneath this particular array. It's 34 foot between those upright supports and 12 foot 6 inches tall to the lowest height. You can cover parking lots with this. You can cover hay storage with this. It's a very dual use racking solution, and it's fabricated right here in the Midwest. Thanks for joining us today for this 1 million cups presentation. And if you're interested in knowing more about our entity, you can find us at agvolts.com. That's agvolts.com.